Hello and welcome to this video on Hustle Castle Rune Events and how to do them well. This video is going to be especially great for new players that might be coming across Rune Events for the very first time, as we have got this Steam event just being released not too long ago. And as always, for more experienced players, if you see something I may have missed that other players can benefit from, then make sure you leave your comments down below to help all of these new players out. In this video we will be covering the best practices you can do that I've tested myself to get the most runes possible, and there's also a little trick that even experienced players might not know. And all of this will be done without spending any money in the process unless it is absolutely required because of the lack of time you might have on the game. So let's start off the main things you're going to need to earn the most runes possible. This is in my personal opinion, with some things that are a must and other things that will just help. Let's start with things that you have to do if you're looking to get as many runes as possible. Firstly, you're going to need to do all of your gem bays every day. This will seem a little bit of a drag, but they can get you some great returns into earning as many cards as possible for these runes that you want. If you have premium, you should be able to do 4 gem bays no problem, and if you don't have premium, then you'll be able to do 3. I would still highly recommend paying with diamonds for one additional attempt, whatever your case may be, if you plan to collect all the runes. My next tip would be always complete the portal levels that have the chests on them. Unfortunately, the portal isn't out at the time of the recording, so I can't actually show you this time around, but these levels will have chests on them and these ones will give you the cards for completing them. I'm pretty sure it only works from level 55 onwards, but that can definitely continue as far as you're able to go, and level 55 might be the lowest level that I can do because I'm throne room level 11, so you might be able to do lower levels if you're a lower throne room. The next thing will be to do your daily invasions. This might seem very simple and not exactly a big deal, but this could be an easy way of earning extra cards for yourself, as it won't actually take that long to do. Another must is going to be completing your daily quests. If you're already doing gem bays and invasions, then you're already a good step of the way there. The fun category can be one of the hardest ones to complete, so this is going to help towards that. But I'll also have a really cool tip later on for people that are struggling to get the last rune or runes in their fun category. The last thing that I think you should always do every single time when it's available is giving resources to friends and accepting the resources too. Both of these give you a decent amount of cards for such a simple thing, so if you're struggling to find enough people to add, then just message in the global chat or join a nice big size clan and I'm sure you'll be able to get enough people in no time. If you're enjoying this video so far, then make sure you get subscribed to see more videos like this in the future, and I will be able to help you out with anything confusing about this game. Now onto the things that can help but aren't always a must if you're pushed for time. Completing the Hustle Island to the left. This should be done every day, but when time is pressed you can leave this till last and do the other things on the list that I've mentioned before, as they are going to be much more worth it to you in earning these cards. The Hustle Island can be a great thing to grind if you have the diamonds, but make sure you've done the other things first and then just come back to this later. For new players that haven't seen the island before, don't be worried if you're not earning cards right now. Completing the Hustle Island won't give you cards for completing the levels, which might seem weird to you, and you won't even get cards for completing the main boss, but it's actually opening the chests that give you the cards. So don't be put off if you thought this wasn't working for you straight away, just keep doing it whenever you've got the time after the other things I've mentioned before, and just open the chest when you want to get more resources. A naughty little method which might actually annoy the community by telling everyone else this, but there is actually a way to earn extra cards right off the bat multiple times. And that's watching the advert for 3 random cards, but it's not what you think. What you'll need to do is have 2 devices, like a phone and a computer, or in this case I'm using BlueStacks version 4 and 5 at the same time. To make things easier, I'm going to call the screen on my left device 1 and the screen on my right device 2. Now for anyone who has multiple devices, you know you already can't be on the game at the same time, but here's the clever bit. Normally you'll have to wait 2 hours before you get to watch the next advert again, but by doing this you'll be able to watch all of your daily adverts within about 15 to 20 minutes, depending on how quick things are. Firstly, have the game open up on one device and watch that advert. As soon as you press to watch that advert, open up Hustle Castle on your second device. Don't press the X on the advert until you're on your second device and actually on the game. But once you are, you can press the X on the starting device and wait to be kicked off. After that, wait for your second device to receive the cards and then click to log back on your first device and repeat the process. This will take a few attempts to get right, but you can always follow what I've just done on screen and watch it again from the beginning if you're not sure. I'm sure a lot of people are going to be annoyed that I've exposed this to everyone, but it's very unlikely that the developers will come across this anyway. And hit that like button if you actually didn't know about this cool little trick. So another thing to do would be to do your arenas whenever you can if you have plenty of tickets lying around. The one thing I like to do once I've done all of the previous steps before is start to do an arena and then do the Hustle Island at the same time. There's too much of a break when you're actually doing the arenas and just waiting around, so you might as well do something as well that's easy to do and come away from quickly. If you play on the computer, what you can do is actually do your arenas while playing other games. By simply pressing the Alt and Tab key at the same time, you'll be able to flick between the previous screen and the game you're playing nice and quickly. Clan Wars can be a great easy way to earn extra cards, but this will depend on your clan if they edit, do you deploy by yourself, or are you just very weak. But what I will say is to just try and join other strong fighters to increase your chances of winning that waypoint. After this, I would only do PvPs and dungeons if you really can't do arenas and win at least 2 out of the 5 fights, for example if you've rushed. PvPs and dungeons aren't a great use of your time or resources compared to the other ways that I've just been explaining before, so try and leave this until last unless you really have to do them. That's pretty much the best things I can say about earning cards to get the runes, but if you have any examples of that could either be better or something that I may have missed, then please leave your comments down below for everyone else to see and help out. Now here's some help that I can give to everyone that not a lot of people are saying. When it comes to opening chests, you might be thinking it's all random, and that is partly true, but there's actually a system which I can't actually put down into a number, but I'll try and explain it here. In my experience, to collect all the runes, you need to get around 250 to 300 collections depending on what you need to collect. But here's something that they actually don't want you to know. You might think that if the only rune you need to collect left is on the middle tree on the massacre category, then that's what you need to do to actually get the rune. And again, that's partly true. But here's what they don't tell you. The middle tree involves doing invasions, gem bays, hustle island and dungeons to get these chests. But if you actually carry on opening chests in the confrontation and fun category, you're actually increasing your chances of getting the middle rune. This might seem like I'm guessing, but I can actually prove it to you, especially to players who need to get all the runes. Over the next few days, depending on when you see this video, don't open up any of your chests that are in the category that has the most runes up for grabs. For example, if you need to get all 11 runes in the confrontation, then only open up the massacre and fun chests until it says 3 days remaining. Don't worry, this won't ruin your progress because the other days will actually balance this out. But what you're going to notice is, in your first few chests of opening your confrontation tree, you're actually going to get runes extremely quickly, because you got your total up first by opening the massacre and fun chests at the beginning. I'm teaching you this because in the future this is going to become very useful to you. The fun category is normally the most difficult to get, as once you've done all your dailies, your portals, you can't actually earn more cards without spending diamonds, and getting a bit lucky along the way. So I use this method I just mentioned about above in combination with this. When it says 3 days remaining, I want you to open up all of the rest of your chests, every single one. Now what I want you to do is only open the confrontation and massacre until you collect all the runes in one of those categories. For example, if you collected all the runes in the confrontation, don't open up any more in the massacre and only open the one in the completed tree. So what is going to happen now is basically by opening these chests in the completed tree, you're actually increasing your total collections, but also saving chests up in the massacre and fun collections. On the last day you might have 53 massacre chests and 24 fun chests to open. In this instance, open up massacre chests first until that number is the same as your fun chests. And then from there you're just going to open them up alternating until you get the last rune in one of the categories. Again, to keep things simple, if you got the last rune in the massacre category and still have 20 massacre chests and 20 fun chests, then what you need to do is open up the remaining massacre chests all in one go and leaving the fun chest till the very end. This will massively increase your chances of getting those fun runes if they're left till last. That was a lot to take in, and I'm sure there's going to be some information you might not have heard correctly, so I'm going to make a little short version here that you can just listen again and just recap. What you're going to do is open up all of your chests when it says 3 days remaining. From here, you're only going to open up the confrontation and massacre until one of them is completed. Whichever one is completed, stop opening the other one until the very last day, and continue opening chests on the completed category. On the last day, you'll be left with at least the fun category and one other category. From here, open up the one with the most chests remaining until both their numbers are the same, and then alternate between them until you complete one of them, and then only open the completed ones first, leaving the last remaining chest for the last remaining runes. This will be one of those only time will tell sort of things, but I know this works when you want to get the most runes possible, and doing it any other way could easily miss you out on multiple runes. The last and final thing I will say, which is probably too late for this rune event at least, and that's you don't actually need to pay for any of the passes. You can get extra cards with paying for a pass, but it certainly is not worth the investment, and especially not for those extra little goodies. Either way, you can spend diamonds without buying a pass, and 15 to 25 cards just doesn't cut it. If they tripled it in the future, then both of these options might make some sense, as long as the price doesn't go up with it. But I doubt they'll ever make this change anyway, so this is what we're going to be stuck with. Take it from me, who's got all the runes before in these previous events, you don't need to pay. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to join my weekly diamond giveaways. You can find a link for that in the description. And if you're looking to join a clan that takes things easy, always gives out prizes fairly, and just want to help people out that have any questions, then why not join my clan, Always Clan War. We've removed lots of people over the months and never really invested time into getting new players, but figured now's the time. So drop them by and you'll have your spot as long as you play the game a little and aren't rude to other players. And again, thank you for watching.